Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stottarashata Krishna Kripa Murti Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Samsthapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद्भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की, साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ति श्रील गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की, सच्चिदानंद श्रील भक्तिनोद ठाकुर महाराज की, वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की, श्री रूप सनातन रघुनाथ दास रघुनाथ भट्ट गोपाल भट्ट श्रील जीव गोस्वामी वृंद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्रीलदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, व्रज भूमि वृंदावन धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, श्री श्री राधा नील माधव की, श्री श्री राधा गिरिधारी की, श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की, श्री श्री गरुड़ प्रहलाद लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव की, श्री पंचतत्व की, श्री निताय चैतन्य चंद्र निताय गौर चंद्र की, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
You said Jayam Vishnu Paramahamsa, and then you said like 20 other things. No, after that.
Ashtottara Shata.
After that, that's the normal.
Ashtottara Shata Shri Srila.
You said something Krishna.
Krishna Kripa Purti. Oh, there's no sound. Sound. That's what I did.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। सौभीत भक्तविंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Abhibhrat
Abhibhrat
Aryana
Aryana
Dandam
Dandam
Yatavad
Yatavad
Aghakarishu
Agakarishu
Aghakarishu
Agakarishu
Yavad
Yavad
Dadhara
Dadhara
Shudratvam
Shudratvam
Shapa
Shapa
Varshashatam
Vashasham
Yamaha
Yamaha
Abhibhrat
Abhibhrat
Aryamadandam
Aryamadandam
Yatavad
Yatavad
Aghakarishu
Agakarishu
Yavadadhara
Yavadadhara
Shudratvam
Shudratvam
Shapa
Shapa
Varshashatam Yamaha
Vashashatam Yamaha
Abhibhrat
Abhibhrat
Aryamadandam
Aryamadandam
Yatavad
Yatavad
Aghakarishu
Agakarishu
Yavadadhara
Yavadadhara
Shudratvam
Shudratvam
Shapa
Shapa
Varshashatam Yamaha
Vashashatam Yamaha
Abhibhrat Aryamadandam
Abhibhrat Aryamadandam
Yatavad Aghakarishu
Yatavadagakarishu
Yavadadhara Shudratvam
Yavadadhara Shudratvam
Shapad Varshashatam Yamaha
Vashashatam Yamaha
Abhibhrat Aryamadandam
Abhibhrat Aryamadandam
Yatavad Aghakarishu
Yatavadagakarishu
Yavadadhara Shudratvam
Yavadadhara Shudratvam
Shapad Varshashatam Yamaha
Vashashatam Yamaha
Abhibhrat
Abhibhrat
administered
administered
Aryama
Aryama
Aryama Dandam
Dandam
punishment
punishment
Yatavat
Yatavat
as it was suitable
as it was suitable
Aghakarishu
Agakarishu
under the persons who committed sins
under the persons who committed sins
Yavat
Yavat
as long as
long as
Dadhara
Dhara
accepted
accepted
Shudratvam
Shudratvam
the tabernacle will be Shudra
tabernacle of the Shudra
Shapat
Shapat
as the result of a curse
as a result of the curse
Varshashatam
Vashashatam
for 100 years
for 100 years
Yamaha
Yamaha
Yamaraj. As long as Vidura played the part of a Shudra, Being cursed by Mandaka Muni, our Yama officiated at the post of Yamaraj to punish those who committed sinful acts.
Viprat or Jamadannam Jathavat Avakarishu Javat Dadhara Suddhattam Shapat Varsha Satang Jama. So Vidura is Jamaraj, the superintendent of death. After our death, we are brought before the Justice Jamaraj what kind of next birth I may have. So, Jamaraj is not Shudra, he is devotee of Lord Krishna, although he has the duty to punish the criminals. Just like a magistrate, he is always punishing the criminals. That is his business. But he is not criminal. He is giving judgment to the criminals. Similarly, Jamaraj is the appointed magistrate, superintendent. After death, one has to go before him and take the judgment of his next life. This is the process. So, Vidura was cursed by Mundaka Muni, Manduka Muni. He was a great sage, but sometimes in his ashrama some thieves were caught. So police arrested both the Manduka Muni and the thieves, and later on Mandika Muni was chastised to be punished by Shula. There was a system of punishment. I do not know whether it is still existing. The Shula means one lancer is called. It was to be pierced through the rectum, and it will go through the head and the man will die. The pierce was standing and he was sit down. What is this punishment? Is there any mention?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's called in Arabia, it's still like that.
Huh?
Arabia is this.
What is that?
It says in Arabia they still have it.
Arabia?
Yeah. It's called pal.
Shula punishment. So, when he was condemned,
Hare Krishna. So herein we see that Srila Prabhupada is talking about Vidura. In that he mentions something about Yamaraj. What is a comparative position of Yamaraj in the material world? Thank you, like a magistrate. Huh? Yeah, punishing the criminal. Correct. But is Yamaraj a criminal? Yamaraj a criminal? Is he a criminal by doing that? Yeah. So as Prabhupada says, just like a magistrate is always punishing the criminals, that is his business.
to the Shula punishment, then the king heard that Manduka Muni, the great sage, he is punished like that. Immediately he stopped. What is this nonsense? That Manduka Muni has been punished. He is a great sage. And so the king stopped the punishment and immediately came to see what has happened. Then he was immediately released. But he was very sorry That's why the judge, Jamaraj, punished him like that. So he asked Jamaraj, why you have punished me like this? Now in your childhood, you pierced the rectum of an ant with a, what is called?
Pin.
Straw.
No, it's not straw.
Piece of glass.
Pricking.
Pin.
Corn. No?
Thorn.
Kanta, we say kanta.
Straw.
Splinter.
That pricks, what you call?
Thorn.
A thorn, yes. So, therefore you are punished. Now just see, in his childhood, he was playing with an ant piercing the rectum with a thorn. That is also taken account. All right. He'll be punished. Let's see how finer laws are there in nature. So the Manduka Muni did that, therefore it was regarded he should be punished like that. This is our position. Anything, if you are walking on the street, if you kill an ant by walking, you will be punished. This is nature. We are in such a dangerous position, in every moment there is punishment. Now if you believe the Shastras, that is different thing. If you don't believe, you can do anything you like. But from Shastra you can understand the laws of nature or God is very, very strict. Very, very strict. So, Manduka Muni also chastised Jamaraj that in my childhood, without any knowledge, I did something and for which you have given me so great punishment. So you are not fit for becoming a Brahmana or Kshatriya. You become Shudra. So you are cursed to become Shudra. Therefore, Jamaraj took his birth as Vidura and was born in the womb of a Shudra mother. This is the history of Vidura's birth. So, in his absence,
So, over here Prabhupada starts with, he says, this is our position. Anyone would like to narrate what position Prabhupada is talking about?
He's talking about being subject to the laws of nature. He was saying, even if you step on an ant and you kill an ant, then you have to be punished. And that's our position, that we're subject to the laws. Anything that we do is going to have a reaction.
And in what reference is saying that? Yeah, context.
He was a child, Manduka Muni. He was pinching an ant in the rectum with a thorn, and he had to be punished for that.
Anyone?
And he's also saying that's us in the material world.
Yeah, thank you. But when Prabhupada starts his talk, he talks about Yamaraj. Yamaraj was cursed. Just to show us that the person who is responsible for, giving punishment to others, he is also not spared, because this is the law of material nature. Yes. Thank you. Anything else? So over here there's Prabhupada says, but from the Shastras we can understand the laws of nature, of God, is very, very strict. Very, very strict. So Manduka Muni is chastised. Manduka Muni also chastised Yamaraj that he did something unknowingly as his childhood, in his childhood, but still he got punishment for that.
Rama, one of the demigods, he appreciated Jamaraj. That's what he said. Abhibrat Jama Dandam. The office must go on, the magistrate post cannot be vacant. Somebody must come and act. So Jama was acting. Jathavat Aghokarishu. Aghokarishu. Aghokari means, agho means sinful activities. And Karishu means those who commit sinful acts. And Jathavat means exactly to the point how he should be punished. Jathavat Abhukarishu. Jabat Jadhara Suddhatam. So long Jamaraj continued as a Sudra, or Jama was appreciating his place as Jamaraj. This is the part. Vidura, born in the womb of a Sudra mother, was forbidden even to a party of royal heritage along with the brothers Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Then how could he occupy the post of a preacher to instruct such learned answer? Is that even though it is accepted that he was a Shudra by birth, because he renounced the world for spiritual enlightenment by the authority of Rishi Maitreya, and was thoroughly educated by him in transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to occupy the post of an acharya or spiritual preceptor. Vidura was a Shudra, born Shudra. Then how he became a preacher? So, the reason is, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, anyone who is conversant in the transcendental knowledge or the science of Godhead, be he a Brahmana or Sudra, a householder or a sannyasi, is eligible to become a spiritual master. Not that because he was born a Sudra, and he cannot preach, he cannot take the post of Acharya or spiritual master. That is not Chaitanya philosophy. Chaitanya philosophy has nothing to do with this body, external body. Chaitanya philosophy is concerned with the soul. This movement is the movement of elevating the soul, saving the soul from degradation. Therefore, people sometimes are surprised. The bodily concept of life, the same activities will be karma. And on the platform of spiritual life, the same karma will be bhakti. Same karma will be bhakti. So bhakti is not inactivity. Bhakti is all active. Jat karosi, jat juhosi, jadasanasi, jat tapasyasi, kurusya tad madatmanam. This is bhakti. Bhakti yoga. Krishna says to everyone, if you cannot give up your karma, then that's all right. But the result of your karma, give to me. Then it will be bhakti.
So, Do you find any point interesting in this paragraph where Prabhupada says, in the absence of Aryaman, one of the demigods, he officiated Yamaraj? It's a post. Yeah. So, at the same time, Prabhupada also mentioned, he's saying that the law of the nature is so stringent that irrespective of whether that person who is responsible for continuing the duty, for whatever reason, even if he's not there, but the duties should be continued. So when Yamaraj was not there, Aryaman, the demigod, was appointed as Yamaraj. And as Prabhu rightly said, it's a post. And towards the end of that paragraph, Prabhupada says, Aryaman was officiating in the place of Yamaraj, and then Prabhupada reads the purport. I would like someone to read the purport again, please. You can read the purport.
So the reason, that one?
Yeah. Vidura.
Vidura, born in the womb of a Shudra mother, was forbidden even a party of royal heritage, along with his brothers Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Then how could he occupy the post of a preacher to instruct such learned? Answer is that even though it is accepted that he was a Shudra by birth, because he renounced the world for spiritual enlightenment by the authority of Rishi Maitreya and was thoroughly educated by him in transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to occupy the post of an acharya or spiritual preceptor. Vidura was a Shudra born Shudra. Then how he became a preacher?
Thank you. Anything you can take from this paragraph? I have 3 points in mind. Go ahead.
Well, I found it interesting to note that Srila Prabhupada was saying the purpose of this movement was to elevate the soul. It's an interesting point. And in so uplifting the soul from its degraded condition within this material world. That's the mission of ISKCON. Quite plainly spoken.
Jai. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You saying something?
Oh, me?
Okay.
Well, I just, that, if you are qualified, the birth doesn't matter. Vidura became qualified by the association of Maitreya Rishi. And so he was competent for being preacher.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm sure you are looking for the same thing expressed in a different way. When you said 3 things. One is detachment, Vidura is detached, renounced. Second one is he had a bona fide guru. Third one is not just had a guru, but he learned from him, properly studied under him.
Thank you. So it is interesting when Prabhupada starts the talk for this particular verse, like he establishes who Yamaraj is, then he establishes the nature of this material world. Even though he is a Yamaraj, because he committed some activity, he was punished for that. And then the same Yamaraj, when he comes as Vidura, he takes shelter of the bona fide spiritual master he learns from him. And as a result, Prabhupada calls him that. Thank you.
So, Vidura was Jamaraj. Not only he was Jamaraj, ordinary, but he is one of the great authorities. There are 12 authorities mentioned in the Shastra. One of them is Jamaraj. Bali Vaiyasaki Bam. This is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jamaraj is one of the GVC of Krishna. Yes. As we have got 12 GVCs, similarly Krishna has got 12 GVCs. Then now, Sambhu Narada Sambhu, Kapila Kumara Manu, Prahlada Janaka Bhishma, Bali Vaiyasaki Bhayam. There 12 men are authorized to preach Krishna consciousness. So we have to follow Mahajana Jaina Gatasya Pantha. There we have created this GVC. So they should be very responsible men, otherwise they will be punished. They will be punished to become a Shudra. Although Jamaraj is a GVC, but he made a little mistake, he was punished to become a Shudra. So those who are GVCs, they should be very, very careful to administer the business of ISKCON, otherwise they will be punished. As the post is very great, similarly the punishment is also very great. That is the difficulty. You can see from this example, Vidura, he was immediately punished. He did little mistake to Mandukya, because the rishis, the munis, they will curse. Dealing is very, Jamaraj is not escaping. He was to play the part of so-called Shudra for 100 years, being cursed by Mandukya Muni. He was the incarnation of Jamaraja, one of the 12 Mahajans, on the level with such exalted personalities as Bhishma, Narada, Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kapila, Bhishma, Prahlada, etc. Being a Mahajan, it is the duty of Jamaraj to preach the cult of devotion to the people of the world, as Narada, Brahma and other Mahajans do. But Jamaraj is always busy in his Plutonic kingdom, punishing the doers of sinful acts. Jamaraja is deputed by the Lord to a particular planet, some hundreds of thousands of miles away from this planet. That is mentioned. He has got a different planet where the criminals are taken away after death, and he gives the judgment what kind of body he will have. And not like the Theosoph is thinking, now I have got human body, it is permanent settlement. No, that is not permanent settlement. According to one's work, and work means all sinful acts. Without Krishna consciousness, anyone who acts, he acts sinfully. There is no doubt, because he is acting for sense gratification. And sense gratification means almost 99.9% all sinful activity. Duskiti. It is very risky job. Unless you act in Krishna consciousness, jagyartha karman natra lokayam karma bandhan. This is the stringent law of the nature, that you have to act only for jagga, for satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. Otherwise, you will be entangled. And who is serving Krishna? Nobody is serving Krishna. So, everyone is being entangled. This is the material world. Yamaraja is deputed by the
Any points in this particular paragraph? Again, he's sorry. Here, Prabhupada mentions a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 17:186. Mahajano yana gatha sabanta. Anyone can recite the full verse?
Tarko pratishto shrutayo vibhinna nasa urishiriyasya matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gatasabanta.
Thank you. Translation, please. So it says, dry argument or mental speculations. When people do this, which have variegated or different meanings, one cannot come to a right path of conclusion, which is based on the religious principles. So what we need to do is that the solid truth of religious principles is that if we understand the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person, one should accept whatever progressive path that Mahajana advocates. The world might seem complex, but if we just follow the path what has been shown to us by the Mahajanas, by the great devotees, our life would be better in understanding the scriptures. Thank you, Prabhu. In this paragraph, Prabhupada says, Yamaraj is always busy in his Platonic kingdom, punishing the doers of sinful acts. Yamaraj is deputed by the Lord to a particular planet, some hundreds and thousands of miles away from this planet. That's mentioned, he has got different planet where the criminals are taken away after death, and he gives the judgment. What kind of body will he have? Did anyone thought about this? What kind of body Yamaraj has? Yes, Mataji. Mataji.
It's going to be a very difficult trip. And then you get there. But yeah, I was just marveling at that. Because we don't think in terms of planetary distances, referenced as higher and lower and etc. It's a very interesting model. Many devotees are trying repeatedly to kind of get that so where it makes sense to us, but this is what it is. And the Mahajanas only speak the truth for the benefit of others. That's how you know they're a Mahajana. They're not after anything else but your benefit.
Thank you. And when I read this for the first time, the first thought came to my mind was, thank you Prabhupada for showing us Yamaraj. Growing up in an Indian community, we had a different picture of Yamaraj with a horn. But if you see the Yamaraj in the Bhagavatam, he looks so handsome.
A particular planet, some hundreds and thousands of miles away from the planet of Earth, to take away the corrupt souls after death and convict them in accordance with their respective sinful activities. Thus Jamaraja has very little time to take leave from his responsible office of punishing the wrongdoers. There are more wrongdoers than righteous men. Therefore, Jamaraj has to do work than other demigods who are also authorized agents of the Supreme Lord. But he wanted to preach the glories of the Lord, and therefore by the will of the Lord he was cursed by Munduka Muni to come into the world in the incarnation of Vidura and work very hard as a great doing. The punishment was also reward. Those who are servants of Krishna, even they are so-called punished, there is some motive behind this. Just like Joy Vijay, they are also punished to come down and just to become enemy of Krishna. Krishna, when they were very much perturbed that we are going to the material world from Vaikuntha, so what will be our fate, sir? There is some little mistake on our part, what we shall do? So Krishna gave him that if you become my enemy, then you will be relieved in 3 births. And if you become my friend, then 7 births. So the Jayavajaya agreed, sir, we shall become your enemy. So what is the purpose? Krishna wanted some enemy to fight. Just like we sometimes want to fight. So this desire is there, Krishna, otherwise why we get this desire? So actually it was Krishna's service, this Jaya Vijaya. Krishna wanted to have some fight. In the spiritual world there cannot be fight. There is no fight, there is only service. Therefore, some of his devotees, the Jaya Vijaya, agreed to become his enemy, come to this material world, and to Krishna fought with the Jaya Vijaya. As Ramchandra, he fought with Ravana, and as Nrsimhadev, he fought with Hiranyakashipu, and as Krishna, he fought with Kamsa. So similarly, Vidura also, he thought that I am always busy in this magisterial work, simply to punish, I have no chance to preach. So Krishna is very kind to his devotee. So he gave the chance to preach. So this was the arrangement, that he was cursed by Munduka Muni, came down to this material world. That is also material. Jamaraja's planet is also in the material world. And therefore he was given the chance of preaching. He is transcendental to such divisions of mundane society, just as the personality of Godhead has him.
So here Prabhupada says that, so what is the purport? Krishna wanted some enemy to fight. Who all Krishna mentions in this, Prabhupada mentions in this, in the form of enemies?
Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa.
Ravana, Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa. Thank you. And how was Krishna kind on Yamaraj?
He gave him a chance to preach in the material world.
Chai. And Prabhupada also mentions the planet of Yamaraj. Where is it? In material world. Thank you.
Incarnation as a hog, but he is not hog. If somebody thinks that he is come as a hog, playing the part of a hog, that is not the fact. Even though assumes the Lord and his different authorized devotees sometimes have to play the role of many lower creatures to claim the conditioned soul, but both the Lord and his pure devotee are always in the transcendental position. Etad isanam isasya, that is the authority of God, that even though he accepts some lower position, he is never in the lower position. He is always in the transcendental position. I have given the example yesterday that the sun is sometimes evaporating the urine. This is not very good business, but still sun is sun. It is never polluted. Similarly, Krishna or his devotee, he sometimes apparently does something which is not befitting their position, still they are in their position. This is the conclusion. Krishna has given this concession to his devotee. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Apiche sudurachara bhajati imam anannabha sadhureva samanta sammak bhavashita. Even sometimes, not by willingly, sometimes accidentally, a devotee, just like the other day in the meeting, somebody was giving the example, Lord Christ, he ate fish. So, he can do that. There was some necessity, but you cannot do that. So even though it is sometimes done abominably, but they are still there in exalted position. This is to be understood. Tejiyasang na dosaya. Tejiyasang, those who are very, very powerful, anything abominable done by them does not contaminate. This is to be understood. But you cannot do that. You cannot imitate. When Yamaraj thus incarnated himself as Vidura, his post was officiated by Ujjama, one of the many sons of Kashyapa and Aditi. The Adityas are sons of Aditi, and there are 12 Adityas. Ujjama is one of the 12 Aditya, and therefore it was quite possible for him to take charge of the office of Yamaraja during his 100 years absence in the form of Vidura. The conclusion is that Vidura was never a Shudra, but was greater than the purest type of Brahman. Now, have people.
So here Prabhupada starts, he is transcendental to such devotees of mundane society, just as the personality of Godhead assumes his incarnation as a hog, but he is not a hog. So Prabhupada says further, the Lord and his different authorized devotees sometimes have to play a role of many lower creatures to claim the conditioned soul, but both the Lord and his pure devotees are always in the transcendental position. So Prabhupada is referring this example to whom? In this particular...
Is he still speaking of Vidura?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, any comments, any questions?
I just had one question, that Srila Prabhupada was saying that Krishna had 12 GPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that referring to the 12 Mahajans?
Yes.
So when Yamaraj punished Manduka Rishi, so even though he, now he's a Rishi, so at that time, Yamaraj was just doing what he's supposed to do, punish. If it doesn't matter whether you are a child or, right? That's how he was just following the law.
Yes.
So why he got punished?
So basically, Prabhupada says in his class that Yamaraj, even though he's a Mahajana, but right now he's performing his duties in the material world. And Prabhupada also says the law of the material worlds are very, very harsh. And the reason is that the material world is not meant for us to enjoy. The material world is designed for us so that we realize that we don't belong here and we go back home, back to Godhead. And no matter whosoever comes in this material world, they have to they have to go through this law of nature. For example, just like in this particular chapter, we see that who was Vidura? He was Yamaraj. And then, if you see in Ramayana, that Lord accepted to go to the forest. Why? Because his mother Kaikai, his father Dashrath had given some kind of, not boon. Kaikai had asked him a favor, so he said that I would give you whatever you asked for. So even Lord Ram wanted, he could have said, even Dashrath says in Ramayana, he tells Lord, you should rebel. But he said, no, I would do what you told me to do. Similarly, in this particular purport, Prabhupada mentions that he specifically talks about Vidura, because even though he's a Mahajana, but since he's in the material world, he has to go through that. And this applies for everyone.
So what you are saying that that Yamaraj could have protested, right? He's just following what his duty, right, to punish, but he accepted the curse.
Yes. And that not only that, that shows us that how a Vaishnava should be. Even though, and in Mahabharata also see many places. Like for example, when we take in the case of Vidura himself, again he demonstrated that Duryodhana insulted him. And when after the insult, it's not that he could have cursed Duryodhana, he could have reacted to Duryodhana. In one of the purport, Prabhupada says that the nature of a Vaishnava is not to counter curse kind of thing. And over here, Prabhupada also says that whatever is done by the permission of Lord. Like whenever Vaishnavas do something, it's not ordinary. And one of the example comes to my mind is about Narada and Yamalarjun, the curse what he had given to Nalkuber and Manigriv. He had done it for the benefit. Similarly, Manduka Muni might have cursed him, but Lord had a plan for Yamaraj to, Prabhupada says, Yamaraj had come for you to preach.
And someone said that from then on, the Yamaraj, the law also changed, that a person who is under certain age will not be punished. Is that right?
Neither I've heard nor I read. Know anything about this?
I haven't heard that, but I remember reading somewhere that until the kids are under 11 years or 12 years old, the parents get the karma if they do something wrong.
So that's what, it's not that they are not...
Yeah, because parents are responsible.
It's not that the punishment is not there.
And after that, they become it's theirs, something like that. Can you read 1:18:48 in this context? Just to continue yours, 1:18:48.
Translation. The devotees of Lord are so forbearing to, even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, and even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Thank you.
Just on the complexity of birth in this material world, and relative to this part of the Bhagavatam also, Bhishma Dev was one of the 8 Vasus who were all cursed to take birth in this material world. Ganga Devi intervened and said, okay, since that's the curse, I will see to it that you are immediately delivered back to your post in the universe. So in her marriage to Satanu, she made a condition: you cannot question anything I do if you want me as your wife. And she therefore gave birth 8 times to the 8 Vasus. After 7 times watching her immediately go to the Ganges and throw the babies into the Ganges immediately after birth, he couldn't take it. He said, why are you doing this? Okay, this one's yours. and that one Vasu stayed as Bhishma Dev, who was a Mahajan. He ended up in a more elevated position. So these complexities are not necessarily what we're going to get. Get the point that birth in the material world is bad.
Thank you.
Following Lord Chaitanya's advice for Kali Yuga is good. Do good. Make it simple.
On that one more point is even Bhishma was punished, right? Because of Draupadi's situation.
Yeah.
Even he had to go through in the battle of Kurukshetra.
He ended up being pierced with enough arrows that he was suspended in the air. It's not like he was lying on them, he was hanging on them. It had to hurt a lot. And he was still lucid enough to speak eloquent philosophy to Yudhisthira after who knows how long.
Yes. Yeah.
So if we have, killed a mosquito, or I know sometimes, like, I kill fruit flies. It's terrible, but like if I have too many, then so does that mean I'm going to suffer like this?
So basically, this is what we are benedicted with. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nilmadhav Bhagwan ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki Jai. We are so fortunate that we took birth when Lord Chaitanya appeared just few hundred years back. So we got all the concession possible in the entire universe. And the best example is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Jagai and Madai, it is said, my spiritual master says that for Jagai and Madai, Yamaraj had to work overtime. Before, the Chitragupt could write what they did, they used to commit a new sin. So when Mahaprabhu met them, he concised all their sin to the size of a mustard seed and threw it in the ocean. So we are very fortunate, we are very lucky that we are in the shelter of Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and are all Guru Sampradaya, Acharya Parampara. So I was just, since today is Ekadashi, and we are going through the chapter of Vidura, I thought this particular Vaishnava song, I thought that this can connect with that situation of Vidura and Dhritarashtra. So if we can just sing. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grihe thako, vane thako, sada hari bole dakho. Sukhe dukhe bhulo nako, vadane hari naam karo re. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. মায়া জালে বদ্ধ হয়ে আছো মিছে কাজ লয়ে একন চেতন পে রাধা মাধব নাম বলো রে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জীবন হইল শেষ না ভজিলে ঋষিকেশ ভক্তি বিনোদোপদেশ একবার নাম রসা মতোরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় গৌরনিতায় জয় গৌরনিতায় জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. You would like to read too?
Lord Gaurasundar sings in a very sweet voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whether you are a householder or a sannyasi, constantly chant Hari Hari. Do not forget this chanting, whether you are in a happy condition or a distressful one. Just fill your lips with the Hari Nam. You are bound up in the network of Maya and are forced to toil fruitlessly. Now you have obtained full consciousness in the human form of life. So chant the names of Radha Madhava. Your life may end at any moment, and you have not served the Lord of the senses, Rishikesh. Take this advice of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Just once, relish the nectar of the holy name.
Haribol. This is to this extent like Vidura, tells Dhritarashtra. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.